beyond the edge of the known maps, where the GPS signal fades into static, and where the ancient oaks whisper secrets to the wind. There stands a small crooked cottage. It is not a place you find by seeking it. It is a place that finds you when you have lost something you cannot name. This is the Apothecary of Lost Memories, and Elara is its keeper. On this particular Tuesday, the forest was weeping. A soft, persistent rain drummed against the stained glass windows. It turned the world outside into a blur of verdant greens and slate grays. Inside, the air was warm. It smelled of dried lavender, old parchment, and the metallic tang of magic. Elara stood behind her heavy oak counter. Her chestnut hair was tied back loosely with a velvet ribbon. She was not mixing herbs for a cough or a fever. Her trade was far more delicate. She distilled emotions. Before her sat a row of crystal vials, each shimmered with a different internal light. The one on the far left glowed with a soft, angry red. That was the memory of a righteous argument. Beside it was a bottle filled with swirling silver mist. It held the sensation of walking through fog at dawn, but Elara's attention was focused on the empty vessel in her hands. She had a commission to finish before the sun went down. Her client was a man from the city, a person whose name she did not know but whose sorrow she had tasted in the letter he left. He had asked for courage. He wanted a bottle of fearlessness, something to help him face the boardrooms and the cold concrete jungle he called home. Elara picked up a dropper and carefully extracted a golden liquid from a large jar labeled Lionheart Essence. The liquid was thick and viscous, heavy with the weight of expectations. She hesitated. As the golden drop poised on the tip of the glass dropper, Elara looked at the letter again. The handwriting was jagged, pressed hard into the paper. It did not look like the writing of a coward. It looked like the writing of someone who was exhausted. Slowly, Elara lowered the dropper and returned the golden essence to its jar. She moved to the back of the shop where the shelves were covered in dust and shadows. Her fingers traced over the labels until she stopped at a small, unassuming bottle tucked behind a jar of preserved storm clouds. The label was faded, written in her grandmother's looping script. It read simply, "A Sunday afternoon with nothing to do." She brought the bottle to the light. It was not gold or silver. It was a pale, translucent blue, like the summer sky reflected in a calm lake. Elara uncorked it gently. Immediately, the heavy scent of rain in the room was cut through by the phantom aroma of fresh-cut grass and brewing tea. It was the smell of having nowhere to be. It was the essence of stillness. Elara knew then that this was what the stranger truly needed. He did not need the loud, roaring energy of courage to fight more battles. He needed the permission to rest. He needed to remember what it felt like to exist without performing. With a steady hand, she poured the pale blue memory into the delivery vial. As the liquid settled, it seemed to catch the light from the fireplace. It glowed with a gentle, persistent warmth. She sealed it with a cork and dipped the top in beeswax. The transaction was complete. It was not what he asked for. But Elara knew it was exactly what would save him. Outside, the rain began to slow. the clouds parted just enough for a single shaft of late afternoon sunlight to pierce through the canopy. It struck the glass bottle on the counter, casting a long, colorful shadow across the wooden floor. Ilara smiled, wiping her hands on her apron. In a world obsessed with moving forward, she was the only one selling the luxury of standing still.